Warning. This program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions. This is Unshackled Fury.
The Midnight Salvation Tour continues as we wait for the heavy hitters to finally come a-calling. And get ready for our first public taste of all the homesteading that is to come. So welcome back for episode 170 of your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions, Unshackled Fury. I'm your host, Berserker. Mr. Corden is getting the week off, and on today's show, we'll be taking a fast and furious run at the Furthering Midnight rollout campaign, someone likely breaking a major embargo, a remix date, and the return of my favorite time of year. But first, this is a bit of a on-the-fly episode. Do these every once in a while. As it turns out, the original plan for this weekend, among other things, was D&D with friends and recording with Mr. Corden. And last-minute family duties are asserting themselves quite strongly. And so I will be playing the part of chauffeur for a bunch of kids going to robotics tournament. And yeah, I can't get out of it. So recording this on what is, I don't know. Maybe I'm on my lunch break. Maybe. I don't know. But wanted to get something out to you folks because we do have a couple things going on. So this is going to be a shorter episode. Quite shorter than usual, but had a few items, wanted to touch on, wanted to keep it going because, gosh damn it, you deserve it. That's right. So a little bit of a guerrilla style episode here. Threw some shit up real quick and we'll see how it goes. Before I get into all that, just wanted to say that, just real quick note. Feeling something in the air these days, and it's not the other good stuff I'm going to talk about later. There's just kind of, there's stuff. There's stuff. I'm going to stay away from it for now, but wherever you are, whatever you're feeling, just keep going. Just keep going. One step after another. Every day ends, the next day begins. Just keep going. Keep your head up. Ride the wave. Absorb the shit. Just keep going. One step after another. And you'll get through it. We'll all get through things. We all do. We've all been through some gnarly shit. Anybody listening to this, I know you've been through some gnarly shit. You survived. You're here. You're listening. Unless I have a window into the spirit realm, which that's fucking crazy. I don't think I do. I'm not that deserving. So keep it going. Keep your head up. We're going to figure it out. All right. Now, last piece before we get into our metal album of the week. I just wanted to give a quick heads up that next episode, the next recording of this episode will be on the 10th anniversary of this stupid little podcast. Somehow, some way, made it 10 years. Now, how I got here, how we got from there to here, and some of the stuff along the way. And well, it's been a journey to say the least, and I'm gonna do my best next episode to try to capture as much of that as I can to give some history on these things and state of things. And Jez and I working on some things. We'll see what we can come up with. Maybe it's next episode. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's somewhere further down the line. But we're trying, folks. We're trying. So we'll see if we got some surprises in store for the 10th anniversary show next time. But for now, we're here, episode 170, and I'm going to kick it off right now with another suggested album for your metal album of the week. This is coming from Dave Gagne over at Solo Q Podcast. Checked in and was talking about this album celebrating a 40th anniversary and some good times that were had. I believe with an uncle, which I absolutely believe that an uncle, because this is what we uncles do. We rock shit like this and we blast it so the younger generations know what they're supposed to be up to. So, as this episode releases, it is 40 years ago today, September 29th, 1986, Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden. Now, you may not know this by name, but you may know the cover. It's the mascot for Iron Maiden, Eddie, and he's all cyberpunked up. And I have a t-shirt with this album cover, actually, because it's one of my favorites. I wore it to an art gallery once. There was like an art gallery opening, and I wore it like underneath a blazer. I don't know. People loved it. People love that shit. So this album, it's not one of their, I don't know, one of their more well-known ones, I would say. It's got a few really good songs on it that I think caught fire. Wasted Years being one of them. Stranger in a Strange Land being another. But my favorite song off this whole album is Alexander the Great. It's the closing track. It's 8 minutes long. It's another, fucking epic Iron Maiden song. This album is kind of unique in that none of the songs on this, I believe, are from the lead singer Bruce Dickinson. I think it was the other band members writing these songs. So it's a solid Maiden album, all the way through. It's 51 minutes, so give it a good hour, blast through it. There's some hot tracks on here, but Iron Maiden, they're still out there. Bruce Dickinson still sounds amazing. I think he sang the national anthem for a football game recently, like a Steelers game. I can't remember where I saw him. Interesting rendition, but the man can still sing. And if you get a chance to see Iron Maiden out there on tour, because I believe they're still out touring, hell of a show, hell of a stage show, lots of energy. For the age of these guys, it's insane. But there you go. Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden, released on this day, September 29th, 1986. All right. Got a rage topic that, I don't know, this one might surprise you. May or may not. Let's get into it. See what happens. Let's go. Let's rage. So this past week, there was a little bit of a snafu, a little bit of a problem, some hijinks, and otherwise that I'm going to get into a little deeper a little later. But the one thing that I can say about the Midnight Collector's Edition that really just blows my mind, and I'm not going to say what's in it, but there is something that's not in it that I cannot believe they didn't include. After all the videos, the cinematics, the artwork, all the mishigas about Xalatath, how are you not going to include a statue with her bare naked feet on it? You've been promoting this. You've been putting this in our faces. You made us all into foot freaks. I think we got a bunch of new podiatrists coming in thanks to Xalatath. And in the moment of glory for this character, the expansion that is clearly directed at this individual, how are you not going to have a statue of Xalatath in full feet glory? Or at the very least, I think like Taliesin and Evitel do, have some kind of picture of just the feet. You know you want it. You're trying to give it to us at every clip. So you can't sit here and tell me Now, well, we got other things that are more important for you as collectors to have. Oh, no. Now, does this mean there's probably going to be $1,000 statue over some day down the line that will have all these things? Yes. As somebody who's paying a lot of money for a variant statue, except instead of the top half, it'll probably just be, ankle down. Just 2 big ass feet. But I can't believe that in the collector's edition for Midnight, you are not going to include a statue of this character with the one piece of equipment that you knew everyone was interested in. I'm looking back here at the Griffin Rider statue that came out last time, and I know, 20th anniversary, it's a big deal. They put a big thing in it. Okay, fine. But like, you mean to tell me you can't do it now? Oh, come on. For 140, for a bunch of money, oof. I believed in you, Blizzard. I believed in you. Well, maybe the Last Titan, maybe that's what it is. It's all about, the power of the feet making a new Titan. I don't know, Jesus. Like doing remember in the movie Ghost where they were doing the pottery and that was like the scene? Maybe there's like a thing where she like creates, take a bunch of Azerothian clay and like uses her feet to make like a effigy of a new Titan and like empowers that somehow. Yeah, that's right. Put that image in your mind. You're welcome. Oh, well. No statue of Dear Salatat this time in her feet for all the foot freaks out there, but maybe in the future you'll get your chance. All right. Now that I've got that off my chest, Midnight Rollout continues. Big items coming up. Let's go. So as has been covered extensively at this point, the Midnight Rollout has not been exactly what I'm sure Blizzard hoped it was going to be. We've seen all kinds of videos and articles and stuff come out from content creators from Blizzard, and it's been all over the place. So now it seems like the right time to level set once again and get everybody kind of on the same page. And so what are you going to do to do that? Well, on October 1st, Blizzard's going to have a deep dive broadcast. And it's going to have an introduction from none other than the heaviest of all hitters, the great, I don't know, Bambino's not, the great Metzino himself, Chris Metzen. I don't know what he's going to say, but whatever he's going to say, it doesn't matter because he can say whatever he wants. And it's like, yay. So Chris Metzen, introduction, and then Ian Hazakostas will guide us through the deep dive, talking about zones and story and features. And there's a little something else in the video that they showed, but more on that in a minute. But 9 a.m. Wednesday, October 1st. That's where you're going to be looking for this. Why are they doing this? Well, I assume it's to take back control of the narrative. This kind of deep dive, although we've not seen it yet, I can assume based on previous ones what that's going to look like. I assume this is to take back control of this narrative at some level. To say, okay, here's our official deep dive panel. This thing's an hour long or it's 30 minutes long, or I assume it's going to be lengthy. And we're going to give you all the info that you need to know about all the things. And that way, rather than people complaining, like with me, about all of the sporadic blogs and YouTube videos and YouTube shorts and fireside chats and all the mishigas that went out there, we're going to have one centralized Blizzard produced piece like we kind of come to know and love in recent years. Metzen being in there right out of the gate, he's the ultimate salve for any any ailment that you might have, any wound that you might have incurred. He's Metzen is wasted in humanity. This guy could be out there negotiating world peace. I think if more people came in contact with this version of Chris Metzen, man, so much could be accomplished. But for us, peace. Let's have peace in the valley. When Chris Metzen comes out and tells us, this is great, everything's going to be great. I don't know what he's going to say, but I assume we're excited, and this is going to be the Empire Strikes Back chapter. Who knows? He always says shit like that. But it'll undoubtedly calm the waters, and then Ian can take us through, whatever else they've got to tell us about all of the things that are coming. Again, 9 a.m. Pacific. You'll be able to watch this on, I assume it's going to be YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. Because I think the only thing that they technically said was going to be on Twitch and YouTube is the next thing. An hour later at 10 a.m. is the Q&A. They're going to do a live, they claim, live midnight Q&A with, of course, game director Ian Hazzikostas, associate game director Paul Cubitt, and design director Maria Hamilton, a bunch of folks that you've seen quite often recently, and community manager Randy Jordan, who, shit, I haven't seen that guy around in quite a long time. I know he's around, but I don't know that we've seen him quite public-facing very often these days, but he's a long-time Blizzard hand, Warcraft hand, so I'm sure he'll be playing the part of ringleader here and trying to get our questions up and getting some good answers with folks. But if you are so inclined, do you remember the Warcraft forums? I know you don't. You can submit your question for the Q&A on those Warcraft forums. You can also go to the WoW subreddit. My God, they actually are doing something in the WoW subreddit. That's dangerous, but I applaud the effort. You can submit your question over there. There is a post up now. You can get in there. So between whenever you hear this and the morning of October 1st, 2025, you will have the opportunity to get in the forums, get on the subreddit, and get your questions in. So give them give it a thought overnight if you got the time, and maybe throw them in there, because who knows which ones they are going to cherry pick, maybe their own. I'm always dubious of these Q&As. That's why I loved the ones at BlizzCon, because you had just random ass people asking random ass questions, and yeah, a lot of them were stupid, and it pissed me off to no end when they were like really myopic about some thing that like nobody else cared about but them. But you know what? At least it was honest to goodness questions from the community, because now if you don't see people actually asking them, I wonder. I'm not saying that they aren't taking live, real community questions. I'm just saying they could. It's curated. It is curated. So maybe that's what it is. They don't want to have any problems. So think about your questions if you have any. For me, I think I'd like to know more about the housing timeline. I'm very confident about this having this really long lifespan. Decades. I'm curious as to why they think that is. You've always got your doomsayers out there like, oh, this is the end of Warcraft. And, is this the thing that keeps Warcraft on life support? Well, there's no more expansions, but we'll just keep updating housing. Like, is that why they're so confident? Like, what is the plan here? I'd also like to know a little bit more about the praise system. I think it sounds cool in theory. So a little more specifics about that'd be cool. And, pertaining to the question we got last episode, will the boring hero trees get any love? Any revamps? Any workups? A Slayer Warrior, let me tell you, I got ideas. I've given them to you. It should be bloody and crazy and, barbaric. Not feeling it. Not feeling the love. Come on. Every time we hit like a certain ability, a little riff from Raining Blood should play. We're probably not going to pay for the rights to that, but I'm just saying, something cool. So that's what we got. 9 a.m. October 1st and 10 a.m. October 1st. So block out, I don't know, depending on where you are and what you're doing and what time that is, maybe block that on your Outlook calendar. I know I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do it. I'm definitely going to be watching it. let's just leave it there. While you're watching this, though, you can work your way towards a baby Pit Lord pet. They've announced a new, what do they call it? Twitch drop. There's a new Twitch drop. So if you choose to watch all of this on Twitch, starting October 1st at 9 a.m., at the same time as the Q&A, who would have thought? You will have the opportunity from October 1st, 9 a.m. till October 29th, 9 a.m. to earn this baby Pit Lord pet called Lil Coley. And I gotta say, it's pretty fucking cute. Real intimidating. Real intimidating. I was saying, real intimidating on that. But you know, 2 hours worth of WoW content coming straight out of the Blizzard gates. So, you know, that gets you halfway there. And then, I don't know, do you just leave it on for 2 more hours and go walk away? You do you. Maybe we should put it on a channel that gets no love. Show them some love. Give them your 2 hours of viewing. Help them out. That'd be the best. So there you go. You've got a deep dive. You've got a Q&A. And they gave us one more thing. Officially. They announced the Midnight Alpha testing will begin October 2nd. And they gave us a bit of a roadmap. This is roadmap style. Alpha content phases 1 through 5. Phase 1 will be level 80 to 83. Eversong Woods will be the zone. Some story and quests, housing, dungeons, delve companion classes, professions, and a little variation within those. Phase 2 will be level 83 to 88. Zone will be Zulamon, story there, some dungeons there, some delves there. Phase 3, level 83 through level 88 as well. Herondar and Eversong Woods will be your zones, story and quest, dungeons, delves, and encounter warnings as part of the UI is going to get tested out. Phase 4, bumping it up to level 88 to 90. Be up in Voidstorm doing some story, dungeons, delves, PvP, and Apex talents. That's going to be a thing. I can tell already. And then the final phase, phase 5, level 90, max level. Week 1 through 4 content available, so everything. Story and quests, level 90 campaign. Kicking off a chapter 1 there. Some delves, the praise system, level 90 activities of a variety, and more professions work. So this is going to be, it looks like at least a 5 week rollout. So, you know, that's putting us into November, and we'll kind of see how things are going. But they've said it's going to be a smattering of individuals who are going to get in here. Community veterans, whatever that means. Press, fan sites, and friends and family. This is your alpha, which it's kind of like what the beta used to be. I feel like there's beta plus. It's now alpha and beta. So it's not quite what it used to be, I don't think. But will the VIP club still let me in the gates? I don't know. That velvet rope. It's intimidating. Every time you walk up to it, and it's like a deep purple now. You're like, I don't know. Will they let me in? And if they do, Bud Light table, Cristal table, the VIP club within the VIP club. I know Jez has got all kinds of passes in there. But sometimes they don't extend to those friends and family and podcast partners. So we will see. At the very least, I assume Jez is going to get in there, and I will undoubtedly make an ass of myself and post something should I get in there. But alpha test beginning October 2nd. So this week, very exciting. The 1st and 2nd got a whole lot of stuff going on. And one other piece of this that we expect. Going back to Ian's announcement video about the deep dive, over his right shoulder, our left, very clearly, there is a purple looking CE box, collector's edition box, sitting on a shelf right over his shoulder. There's a bunch of other crap in there too, like a Pepe and a Home Sweet Home mug, and I see like an hourglass, and I think I see the medallion from the BFA collector's edition. So there's I'm sure a bunch of little things. Ragnaros statue. There's a bunch of stuff in here. But that was clearly like big hint. Purple Collector's Edition. I talked about it last time. They hadn't announced it, but pretty sure it's going to happen. And that, all but confirmed it. Speculation began. I know I saw it. I know others saw it. I saw some press about it. And then this past Wednesday, September 24th, lo and behold, PC Gamer puts out an article announcing the World of Warcraft Midnight Collector's Edition and what's in it. Now, I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I saw it by way of Wowhead, as I think a lot of us do. Like, hey, this was announced by PC Gamer. Here's what's in it. They had the photos that PC Gamer had of things. Other outlets picked it up. I didn't read any of this. Wednesday night, the Thursday morning, I go looking for it. That's the 25th of September. And it's all gone. All of it. There's no word of it. The PC Gamer article's gone. The Wowhead article's gone. The Icy Veins article's gone. All gone. And I think what may have happened here is that PC Gamer might have broken their embargo a week early. I think it was supposed to be Wednesday of this week, not Wednesday of last week. And I don't know if somebody just hit the wrong date on the calendar or what they did, but my guess is it was supposed to coincide with the deep dive and the Q&A and the whole thing on October 1st, and to gin up interest for the alpha on the 2nd and everything else. I think they just did it a week early. And that kind of thing, you imagine people freaked out. I assume that the PR team over at Blizzard started making calls and sending emails and doing the thing like, listen, you got to take this down. This isn't supposed to be up. So somebody clearly made a big boo-boo. And like I said at the top, I'm not going to spoil it for you just yet. PR professionals are near and dear to my heart, and I know the kind of horse shit they had to go through when this happened. So I am not going to contribute to this just yet. If you're listening to this as it drops on Monday, you're only going to wait a couple more days, I'm sure. So if you really want to find out, it's out there, man. Like, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I mean, you can tell a couple people to take it down because they're being polite, but no guarantee that they would do that anyway. And it's out there, folks. If you really want to know, if you haven't seen already and you just can't wait, it's out there. And I'll have my thoughts about what's in it and the value and all of that stuff later, probably on the 10th anniversary episode. But yeah, big boo boo. When they set these things up, and Jess will tell you, I think is these interviews, these articles, these pieces like this, they get worked out way in advance, because they're giving you promotional materials, like the photos that they had of the actual items in the collector's edition, or at least the one main photo. That came from Blizzard. They gave them the press pieces for that, and so that's with the agreement that you don't release it until a certain time and day. So shit happens. There's a lot worse things in the world. Does it change people's interest in Midnight? Probably not. We'll see what people think about it as it gets released and people are talking about it a little more publicly. But just wait for October 1st, and I'm sure you'll find it. But interesting little oopsie again for Midnight. Just having the roughest rollout of any expansion. Even the CE stuff was not completely clean. So we'll talk about that next time, but really appreciate them putting that little teaser in there. Next up, we finally have a release date for Legion Remix. It's coming up in patch 11.2.5, and that is going to be going live October the 7th. And it's not all going to be at once. Remix has kind of got its own pace and different things. So October 7th will be the launch. We'll have the Broken Isles, Emerald Nightmare, Trial of Valor. You're going to get your artifact weapons, remixed, but you're going to get them. A whole bunch of rewards. Crazy amount of rewards. There's going to be some dungeons, heroic world tier they're going to be introducing. That should be interesting. And a couple of other systems, class order halls. If you liked yours, great. If you didn't, I'm sorry. The warrior one was awesome. So that's October 7th. Then October 21st, we get Rise of the Nightfallen. That'll be the first content update there. Return to Karazhan, Nighthold, Suramar campaign, and more. Then following a couple weeks later, November 4th, Legion Fall, Broken Shore, Cathedral of Eternal Night, Doom of Star Garrison, more. And then a couple weeks after that, November 18th, Argus Eternal, will be Argus, Seed of the Triumvirate, and Taurus, the Burning Throne. And then December 9th, Infinite Echoes, catch-up opportunities, remix content, updates, and more rewards. So definitely going to have a fast and furious run there going through October, going through November, and going through and into December. Will I play it? I've already said yes, I'm going to play it. I'm going to check it out. How to run the warrior through there. I know that that's maybe the most boring choice, but it's what I know. And that's what I'm going to do. And it'll be kind of fun to see all the old stuff. The artifact, I didn't like our particular artifact because I thought it should have been something else. I think that one was boo-boo. You know, how can you have like Ashbringer, right? And then the warriors get some made-up sword that you've never heard of before when there's like all of these weapons of legend just literally fucking laying around. Ugh. Anyway. There's a whole bunch of transmog, a whole bunch of mounts, a whole bunch of other really cool stuff in Legion Remix. And to be honest, I haven't leveled through there in years and years and years. It's a great expansion, except for that one thing. I don't know how many times I can watch Varian die. I got maybe one more in me, but oof. It is a great expansion, notwithstanding. But 11.2.5 is not just going to be Legion Remix. We're also going to get some stuff for retail. The puzzling cartel chips returning. So if there's a piece of gear or something that you've been pining away for, those will be made available again. I think you get a max of 3. And Hero and Myth gear will get 2 more levels to upgrade, going from 6 to 8. So you'll continue to be able to work on that. So yeah, Legion Remix, it's coming. I didn't do Pandaria Remix. People really seem to love it, so I do feel like I missed out. So we're gonna give Legion Remix a shot, if nothing else, just to get through the campaign and get some awesome transmog, bring it back over, and then the poor warrior that I leveled through Remix probably will never see the light of day again, or at least until I need to do a bunch of holiday mount runs, and then we'll get busted out of jail, and then Berserker will just enjoy everything. So thank you for your sacrifice ahead of time, and looking forward to Legion Remix. In the meantime, what do we got right now? You know what we've got right now. The best time of year right now. As I say every year, it's fall. Fall means Brewfest, Hallows End, Warcraft, and for me nowadays, whatever reason, making a character in Cyberpunk 2077 and running them through. I don't know why. But mostly it's Warcraft. There's just something about the fall feels right. And Brewfest is here. September 23rd to October 9th. And you can go to your representatives, Dornegal, Ladraken, Ironforge, Orgrimmar. And you're working on getting your Brewfest prize tokens. And holy Lord, is there a lot of stuff to get. They added even more. You know what they added this year? Kilts. Have you always wanted a kilt? Have you always wanted to wear a kilt in the World of Warcraft? Well, now you can. If I understand it correctly, I think there's a blue and a green version. There are all kinds of, it's blue and brown maybe. There's a bunch of weapons. There's, of course, the Brewfest type shield. There's crazy armor transmog, and one of the best mount editions I think I've seen in quite a long time, the Brewfest bomber mount, which is reminiscent of some other mechanical mounts. Mimiron's head comes to mind, and it just looks cool. It looks like a giant Brewfest barrel that you're just flying around in the sky. It looks pretty rad. All your usual activities, right? Your ram racing, your fighting dudes off around the keg. There's the keg tapping. There's the chow down where you're choking on a bunch of sausage. My God. There's all kinds of activities and events. I've barely scratched the surface. I jumped in last night and started doing a few things. But there are countless things to earn. There's tabards, there's hats, there's toys, there's battle pets, there's heirloom upgrades. Remember those? Remember those heirloom upgrades? Of course, many achievements to be had. It's one of the most, I think, beloved holidays of Warcraft. It's certainly one of the most memorable for me. It's one of the ones that I've probably participated in the most. Get down there, kill Corrin Direbrew, get your 1 kill in a day. See if you can get your fancy new mount. Even if that's all you have time for, just jump in there. Just get that group going. Get in that LFG and just go down there and smoke them. It takes freaking 30 seconds. Just boom, 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 boom. You're in, you're out, and get that done. So that is happening right now. Please go out there, enjoy Brewfest. It's such a just stupid, fun thing that we get to do. There's like very low stakes, very fun. And by the time it's over, you'll be tired of the music where people are drunk and yelling, and you can go back into the real world where people are drunk and yelling, and it's less fun. But this one I like. So Brewfest, September 23rd, October 9th. Get out there, race a ram, eat a sausage, fight back some dark irons, do what you do best. Dispense indiscriminate justice. Brewfest, hit it. Last up, question for you, audience. Do you have $30 that you'd like to get rid of? Next question. Have you always wanted to look like a rogue angel? If you do, then have I got a deal for you. Because right now, for $30 on the store, you can get the Ascended Regalia Transmog Pack. 200 pieces of transmog for $30. It's essentially like a lighter, like a if you remember Bastions, kind of like the blue and the silver. It's like a Bastion version of Tyrael from Diablo 3 or Diablo franchise. Meeting with kind of like the Valkyrie vibe that they've introduced in World of Warcraft. And there's like a blue version, there's a purple version, and there's a whole bunch of weapons that have, it's very like priesty. It's got like tombstones and angel faces and wings, and it is some shit. If that's your jam, this might be a good deal for you. $30, a little steep, but for 200 pieces, it certainly gives you a lot of options. And I know you can mix and match all kinds of stuff. I saw a dude that had like it's the hood with the blacked out face, right? Had that on some other transmog, and it genuinely looks pretty badass. So like priest, paladin, I could certainly see this being your gig. Warrior, maybe not so much, but it does look cool for the right kind of thing. So if you got $30, throw it down, Ascended Regalia pack, and enjoy being that dark angel of your dreams. All right, like I said, it was going to be quick. I think we've done enough damage for one episode. My thanks to all of you for listening, and remember, you can always follow me and the show on Twitter at Berserker Rage and Unshackled_Fury, on Blue Sky at Berserker and Unshackled Fury, as well as on Twitch at Unshackled Fury and Real Berserker. You can also join our Discord, links for which are on the profile of the show on Twitter and on our website, unshackledfury.com. Feel free to contact the show with your questions, comments, or otherwise through any of those resources, or email us at unshackledfuryshow@gmail.com. And you can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high, and we'll see you next time. Farewell.